Hello guys, welcome to this month's News from the Nest. My name is Christian.
And my name is Tito, and in this show we will be talking about art.
All kinds of art.
All kinds of art?
All kinds of art.
So get ready. This first story is my story, and I was really interested in finding out whether the music industry is connected to the violence going on in Chicago.
That's a good topic, Tito. Let's see what you found out.
What are your favorite rappers in Chicago? Here's what some horror students told us.
Kanye, Chief Keef,
King Lloyd,
Lil Durk,
Lil'Bibby.
Three favorite rappers from Chicago are Lil Herb, Lil'Bibby and Lil Durk.
Lil Herb, Lil'Bibby, Chief Keef, Chief Keef.
Rap has evolved throughout the years, and now it reflects our current culture.
So it's more of like people rap about what they're experiencing and what they're going through. And usually when you're from Chicago and you're a rapper, you're rapping about pretty bad things.
Back then, it had like a soulful feel. Like I felt like every beat was perfected. You know, it took some time into the beat, and then the lyrics had meaning. You know, it had like a story into it, or it impacted everybody's life, whether it was like a banger or it just like somebody's out of like real perspective. Like you felt every word.
It's more poetic, it's more explicit, it has more background story towards it.
Right now, I feel it's more innovative. Like back then, there was styles, but the styles they were in their own box. But now it's like everything's mixed. Everything is like very innovative, and people are coming up with new things, just trying to be their own self, and it's awesome.
If rap is the latest form of expression, does it influence people to do what they rap about?
I think it has a huge impact in our society because many of the people that are committing these crimes are the ones that are listening to this kind of music. So they get influenced because they think that that's the way of living, because that's the way that the rappers influence them.
I think it does, because I think a lot of people look up to rappers, and I think rappers, you know, most of them do go through what they talk about, and kids looking up to them assume that that's the path that they should take to make it big.
What comes to your mind when you hear the word Chirac?
Violence, Chicago, guns, and crime.
The term that was used was created by people who just, you know, on the south side and west side of Chicago, who felt that, you know, the murder rates and the shootings and the violence has just gotten out of control. I have friends that are in the military who actually took offense to that, and they're African American and they're from the south side, you know, because they feel it's not like that. So while some embrace it along the lines of gangster rap, others are more critical and saying, wait, why are you labeling us our community? Because all of a sudden you put that label of Chirac, and people tend to follow what the media says, and they think that everything in Inglewood is bad.
And he's right. The murder rate is already a half than what it was last year. This is Tito reporting from News from the Nest. Lupe, so who got the next story?
Yeah, Tito, they are reporting on a new dance studio opening in Pilsen.
In a city like Chicago, in a neighborhood like Pilsen, gentrification is a growing concern, but Recycled Barre is using it to its advantage. Recycled Barre is a non-for-profit organization that recycles underutilized spaces into functioning dance studios. According to the local Initiative Support Corporation in Chicago, Pilsen is 78% Latino. The goal is to create a space in which the established Latino community can come together and dance alongside newcomers to Pilsen.
Because they're aware that they are the gentrifiers, we feel like they try to be part of the community. They visit, like local grocery stores, and they support local business.
Co-founder Barbara San Roman explains that Recycled Barre is an addition to the Pilsen community, and it is not pushing out small businesses.
Pilsen is a thriving art community, and our kind of objective was to really bring dance and add to that.
Diane Martinez says that prices will not increase even though gentrification is happening.
The whole reason why we're doing this is to provide access to communities that don't have dance at a very low cost.
Richard Peña, an instructor at Recycled Barre, talks about his experience with dance while growing up.
When I actually met dance, it was not in my neighborhood at all. I actually had to travel like 30 minutes.
As a current instructor, Richard sees that Recycled Barre is uniting the community rather than dividing different parts of the neighborhood.
Recycled Barre is a really nice place to come in and kind of put all those things behind, just about like fitness and family and spreading love pretty much, and making it helpful and easier for people. It's good to find a facility and a company that doesn't only talk the talk but walks the walk. Yeah, that's a good line.
If you would like to know more about Recycled Barre or would like to take a class, you can visit their studio located at 1839 South Carpenter. This is Lupe reporting from The Nest.
We will be right back after these brief messages. Hey Tito, ever wonder how art influenced people's lives?
I don't know. Let's ask Gina and Jasmine. They are covering this story.
How many times have you walked by a painting, sculpture, or even a whole art museum without stopping to take a look? A current elementary art teacher and artist had this to say.
I wish it held as much importance as soccer and baseball and football. It saddens me that parents don't take their kids to many museums. Mexican museums right across the street. Kids live their lives in Harrison Park and they've never stepped foot in that museum.
Art is everywhere. Miss Unger talks about how art influenced her.
My uncles were all artists, and they had me drawing. They taught me how to draw big lips and big eyes when I was like 6 years old, and how to draw faces. So my uncles started me with art.
Mr. Pino was often home alone. He had this to say.
I started drawing crucifixions. At an early age, I'm drawing crucifixions when a lot of kids are out playing. So I was a pretty weird kid.
These teachers told us about who guided their careers to be the person they are today.
A teacher there named Zanzi, and it was his influence and his connection to what's called outsider artists, artists who are self-taught, much like I was.
Actually, my mother pushed for me to go to art school, so I've been going to art school since I was 10, and my mother was the big push in doing that. And then my father, of course, was very enthusiastic in showing everybody all my art. But basically, it's my mother that made sure I went to art school.
Miss Jimenez talks about her 8th grade teacher and how she influenced her in art.
She noticed that I had like an artistic skill, and she wanted me to, pursue that even further. So she told me about Marwin. So she's the one who kind of encouraged me to take classes outside of school.
What kind of techniques or mediums did they prefer working with?
I like working with clay. I like working with anything. I can draw, I can paint, I can take photographs, but I love working with clay out of everything. Clay, I like carving too. So clay and carving, that's my best, most fun thing to work with.
I'm gonna say pencil. I'm very old school. I prefer pencil. I'm not good with like Photoshop or anything like high tech, but I do like to also experiment with watercolor. Yeah.
Besides being pretty, art impacts society.
An exploration of consciousness, working with textures and people's souls and just raw energy, and it just evokes a lot of it's non-feeling. I mean, it's non-verbal. I just feel the art, and it's attached to everything and anything.
This is Jasmine and Gina reporting from News from the Nest.
Thank you for watching this month's show.
See you next month.